Satan, you are no longer going to control my life with that. You are no longer going to bring up every past thing. No. You, Satan, can go back to where you came from because I'm not dealing with that. I'm not listening to that. I know that I'm chosen and valuable and called. I am forgiven, and God has given me His great love that lasts forever. And so I don't have to continue to live in shame and regret and all these opinions of, hello, my name is, all these things. No, I'm going to live according to what the Lord says. And so I'm going to take control of my own identity. I'm going to focus on the Lord. I'm going to focus on what He says about me. I'm going to chew on that. And I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to write it down so I can just begin to live according to what He says. And that's why the fifth thing says you got to stay alert. Because Satan is not wanting you to move forward in your life. He wants to get you stuck on all these opinions of all these things that he says, this is who you are, and this is what you like. You'll never be any better than all those things that everyone has said about you. But you just say to yourself, no, I know by faith, this is what God says. I am chosen and valuable, and I am forgiven, and that He's given me His mercy. That is who I really am. I am not what all these other folks say about me. It's just a way of saying, no, that is not who I am.
Welcome to Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We're in the heart of Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We look forward to you joining us in person sometime soon as we worship the Lord together.
That saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Sing with us, 'twas grace. 'Twas grace. how precious is that grace appeared the hour I first believed. Has promised good to me. His word, my hope secure. Oh, He will my shield and portion be as long as I endure. I want you to sing this out. We've been there. We've been there to be rescued. I come empty to be filled. I come guilty to be pardoned by the blood of Christ the Lamb. And I'm welcome with open arms. Praise God, just as I am. Who am I that the Lord of all the earth would care to know my name, would care to feel my hurt? Who am I that the bright and morning star would choose to light the way to my ever-wandering heart? Not because of who I am, but because of what you've done. Not because of what I've done, but because of who you are. I am a flower quickly fading, in a day from tomorrow, a wave tossed in the ocean, a vapor in the wind. Still you hear me when I'm calling. Lord, you catch me when I'm falling. You told me who I am. I am yours.
There's that part of that song that says, Lord, you still hear me when I'm calling. Lord, you catch me when I'm falling. You told me who I am, I'm yours. I don't know today if you've been going through times of falling or times that you're just wondering, Lord, where are you in the middle of everything that I'm going through? And so that one part of it is still you hear me when I'm calling. Would you just sing that to the Lord this morning? And as we think about what He has done, no matter if you're falling or if He's needing to catch you this morning, let's sing that together. Still you hear me when I'm calling. Lord, you catch me when I'm falling. And you told me who I am. I am yours, yours, Lord. Father, we just come to you this morning. We just ask, Father God, as we just come to lift you up, Lord Jesus, and as we just come to think about how good you've been to us. Well, I know this morning some of us are just falling, and some of us aren't sure where we're going to make it, and some of us are just thinking to ourselves, what is going on in my life right now? But Lord, you say you catch us, and you won't let us go, Father. So today we just come to you and just ask, Lord, that you'd help us just focus on Jesus Christ. That you'd help us to know that in the middle of every trial we go through, and every struggle, that you're just right there. Lord, we just need you today. In Jesus' name. Amen. We're starting a brand new series today, and you can probably see by the things and the stickers and all, and it's called Hello, My Name Is. We sang that to begin with, and this morning, I wonder, when you think about yourselves, Brother Waylon, let me borrow you and your handwriting this morning. You just follow along with me, all right? I'm going to give you some of these, and then I'm going to give you this. Just come up here, folks want to look at you and stuff. It doesn't matter if you can spell or not. Most of the time, you've probably seen these where you have had, your name, insert name here in this little line. Some of you have had to do that. But I'm wondering this morning, if you were to fill in the blank, what would you begin to fill in your blank with? For example, it might be your job. All right, so the way that you determine, just write J-O-B. You just follow me and we'll get this together. All right, so it might be your job, where you look at your stuff, and it is your job that gives you significance and figures out who you are. All right, after you get done, then give right. My bad. Just the sticker part, man. Come on. Yeah, I'm putting them on. All right. It might even be your role. All right, right now, role. So it could be that you identify yourself maybe as a husband or as a wife or something that you do, and so it might be your role. You got that? Look at there. We working with Greece now. It might be your education, or it might be your possessions, or it might be the things that that give you a reason for significance. And so what are those things? Another one that could be. Yeah, I'll do it myself. Another one is, it could be the opinions of others. How much other people said to you. It could have been when you were growing up, what your parents said about you. It could have been whatever your spouse has said about you. It could have been what people who growing up said about you. So it could have been all those opinions of other people. It could have even been your hurts and your pains. You got one? Exactly. It could have been those hurts and those pains that you've had in life that begin to determine this is who I am, this is what my life is all about. And so when you begin to look at your life, what is the name tag? I'm not talking about just your personal name. I'm talking about the things that you would say, this is who I am. I am either the pain or I am the roles that I have. I'm my education, I'm this, I'm that. What is it when you think about it? Give me one more, whatever you decide. Starts with R? Rosa, right there. All right, so when you think about who am I? Just one. How long have we known each other? You don't spell Spanish? All right. But when you think about your life, what are the name tags? What are the things that you are filling out in your own life and in your own heart? When it comes to who are you? What is your life really all about? Who have you been made? Is it all the roles? Is it, you know what, I'm a job, I'm this, I'm that? Is it the way that I look? Is it what I used to accomplish when I was back in high school? What is it that you are that determines how you would fill in the blank? Matthew chapter 16. The Lord fills in the blank for a guy named Peter. Peter was a fisherman. Peter was a working guy. Peter was the kind of guy who oftentimes would stick his foot in his mouth. I mean, he had a little anger issue. One time he cut off a dude's ear and stuff. This was a guy, everyday kind of guy who struggled with things, but he struggled a lot with his personal identity. Who was he? Who did God create him to be? So Matthew chapter 16. The reason why I start here today is I want us to see something that Peter went through. Because Peter figured out who he was, but then Peter had this thing called an identity crisis. You and I oftentimes will have those in life. But I want you to leave here figuring out who exactly are you. You say, well, I kind of know who I am. I am this and I am that. But I'm talking about on a deeper level, who has God created you to be? What does the Lord say about you? Growing up, I remember, I went through a lot of stages growing up. Anybody remember Depeche Mode? I went through my Depeche Mode stage. Then also I went to alternative stage. But then, my little brother and I used to break dance and stuff, get some cardboard out. So I went through my cardboard stage. I went through all these different stages in life. I went through the sports stage and this stage and that stage, just trying to figure out who am I? What is Marcus all about? And maybe today, even as a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 70-year-old, you're still even today trying to figure out, who am I? What is my purpose in life? What has God created me to be? Why do I even exist on this planet? And so Matthew chapter 16, when you find that and honor the Lord and His Word, would you stand with me this morning as we read through God's Word? Matthew chapter 16. We want to answer the question, hello, my name is it regret? Is it defeat? Is it misery in your life? Or is there more that God has created? Matthew 16, starting in verse 13. The Bible says, when Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? The greatest question ever asked. Who do you say that Jesus is? Who is Jesus in your life? Is he just a guy? Is he a prophet? Is he somebody who lived a long time ago? Is he your best friend? Is he your Savior? Who do men say that I am? Verse 14. So they said, some say John the Baptist, and some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. And he said to them, but who do you say that I am? It's not about what the preacher says. It's not about what your family says. Who do you personally say that Jesus Christ is? And Simon Peter answered and said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said to him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that this is who you are. You are Peter. And on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades or hell shall not prevail against it. And I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Father, today we just ask in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, that today with whatever struggles we have going on in our lives, whatever labels someone has put on us from our past, no matter what fears we face in the future, no matter how we would answer the question, who am I? And Lord God, this morning you would help us to know who you have made us to be. For those of us who are going through an identity crisis and not sure of who we are, what God's plan is for our life, would you just allow us to see what your word says today? Take us on a journey into ourselves. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much. They ended up calling him Benjamin Kyle. In 2004, they found him behind Burger King. He had been beaten. He was absolutely naked. You could see skull fractures on his head. He was there, and he had been covered in red ant bites over and over again. He was sunburnt. He had just been laid in the back of a Burger King in Georgia. All of a sudden, they took him to the hospital, and he was unconscious. And then when he began to gain consciousness again, they ended up calling him Benjamin Kyle because he had no idea who he was. Amnesia had set in, and he didn't know where he was from. He didn't know who his family was. He had no idea who this guy was. And so they began to do FBI fingerprints, and they began to ask around. He even made it onto the Dr. Phil show and all these things. They're trying to figure out who is this guy that they were calling Benjamin Kyle. 2004, 2005, 2008, 2009. It wasn't until 2016, about 11 years later, a little bit more than 11 years later, that they figured something out. But all that while, for 11 years of his life, there was nothing. He didn't know who he was. He had no idea who his identity was. He had no idea who his people were. He had no idea what he did or where he came from. He was absolutely had no idea. And you know what the problem is today? That some of you, it's not only been 11 years, it's been all of your life. You have really had no idea who you are. Your identity has come from what other people have said. Well, this is your name, and this is what you do, and this is what they think about you, and this is where you're from, and this is the things that you've gone through, and these are the things that people have said in your life, the opinions of everybody else. And you've heard all of that stuff, but you really have no clue who you really are. That is something that Peter went through. You see, because all of a sudden the Lord said to Peter, Peter, let me tell you who you are. Let me tell you what your life is all about. You probably noticed that in Matthew chapter 16, like around verse 18 and 19. Did you see what the Lord said specifically to Peter? He looked at Peter and said, Peter, you used to be known as Simon Bar-Jonah. That's your family name. That's your given name. But I want you to know something, Peter, that your name from now on, who you are, is that you are Peter. And Peter, that word Petros means rock. And so I'm going to call you Peter. You are now a rock, and I'm going to build my church on you, and even hell itself shall not prevail against you. So the Lord began to look at Peter and said, look, let me tell you exactly who you are. You are a rock. I'm going to build my church upon this rock. The gates of hell shall not prevail. Even in verse 19, it says, look, I'm going to give you the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound there, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed. And so he begins to look into Peter's life and begins to say, look, this is who you are. Let me show you your value. Let me show you that I accept you. Let me show you that you have a purpose and meaning and a plan in life. And so he begins to speak into Peter's life. Now here's the problem. For some of you, you've noticed in your own life that the Lord has spoken to you. And the Lord has said, you know what, let me tell you that you are loved and you're valuable, that the Lord has a purpose and a plan for your life. But the problem is we go through times in life that we go through identity crises, where we're not really sure who we are. We go through times of, uncertainty. Who am I really? What is my life all about? Well, Peter had one of those. And it happened at the end of Jesus' life. You may remember. All of a sudden, they're sitting around a fire. The glow of the fire is lighting on faces over and over again. They've arrested Jesus already, and all of a sudden they've taken him down. They've been beating on him. They've taken him to be crucified. And if you remember, Jesus looked at Peter one day and said, Peter, before the rooster crows 3 times, you're going to deny me. And you may remember the story. And there in Luke chapter 22, especially in verse 57, all of a sudden this little woman comes to him and says, look, don't you know him? And what does Peter say? He says, woman, I do not know the man. Crisis. Verse 58, another while somebody else said to him, you are also one of them. And Peter said, I am not. A crisis. And then verse 59 says, then after about an hour passed, another confidently affirmed, surely this fellow also with him, for he is a Galilean. But Peter said, man, I do not know what you are saying. There was a crisis. The Lord said to Peter, Peter, this is who you are. You're the rock. I will build my church upon you. You know what? The gates of hell itself shall not prevail against you. This is who you are. But he had an identity crisis. Because all of a sudden he didn't know who he belonged to. I don't know the man. He didn't know who he was. I'm not the one that it is. And then he went off and he said, I don't have any clue what you are talking about. Even in verse 62, the Bible says after he had this identity crisis of not knowing who he was or who he belonged to or what his life was all about, verse 62 says, then Peter went out and he wept bitterly. He went out. He was away from the Lord. He began to weep because he felt great sorrow. And there was bitterness and shame and regret. You know what? A lot of times you and I are just like that. When we forget who we are, when we forget who the Lord has made us, when we begin to just live in a way that denies Him and that denies ourselves, and we just have all this identity crisis going on, we feel away from the Lord. We feel separated from Him. We feel as though, you know what, we begin to look at our lives and there's shame and regret and sorrow and there's bitterness and all those things that are just piled upon us. And friends, I don't want you to be like Benjamin Kyle, who for 11 years of his life had no clue who he was. I don't want you to continue to go through your life saying, you know what, well maybe I'm this guy, or maybe I'm this person right here, or maybe it's all my pain, or maybe it's those kind of things. That is who I am. Friends, that is not who you are. And in the middle of your identity crisis of just trying to figure out life and figure out who you are and figure out what you're all about, it'd be one thing if the Lord says, you know what, if you don't know who you are, I'm just going to wipe my hands clean of it. The Lord looked at Peter and said, Peter, this is who you are. Peter had an identity crisis, but thankfully in the end, Peter had a little bit of understanding. He came to really recognize who he was. And this is where we want to camp out today just for a moment. 1 Peter chapter 2. I encourage you to turn there. You'll see it on the screen, but I want you to see it in your own word, or you can see it on the app there if you have your app on your phone. Because in 1 Peter chapter 2, he gives us 5 things that I want you to I'd encourage you to write these on a note card, to stick it on your bathroom mirror, to write it in your car, because the Lord begins to speak some things into Peter's life that I think would bless you and that would help you if you're going through an identity crisis of not really knowing who you are and who you belong to and what your life is all about. Let me read it to you real quick. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. This is Peter, the same Peter who denied the Lord, the same Peter who, in front of a little girl, said, you know what, I don't know the man. This same Peter who just, the rooster crowed 3 times. This same Peter who walked away from the Lord and wept bitterly. This is what he says later on in his life. 1 Peter chapter 2. But you, and he's speaking about himself and those of us who know Jesus Christ, he says, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, who once were not a people, but are now the people of God, who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Can I tell you, when I look at this passage of Scripture, there are a couple of things, and I'll make it real quick. The first thing that you begin to notice is that the Lord says, when he looks at you today, if you're wondering, who am I? What is my life all about? What are all these things that are going on? How do I define myself? The first thing that you ought to know that the Lord says is that you are chosen. Do you see that verse 9? He says, but you are a chosen generation. One of the worst feelings in life, you probably noticed this, one of the worst things that could ever happen in your life is when you are rejected. When someone doesn't want you on their team, when somebody doesn't want you in a relationship with you, when somebody doesn't care about what your life amounts to, and so you know what, you begin to realize, you know what, there's no pain as great sometimes as just being rejected. I don't want you. I don't need you. I don't like you. I don't want you as part of myself. And so sometimes, because we have this great inner desire to seek acceptance, to have people want us, to desire us, to want to be around us, because we have this desire to be accepted, to a sense of belonging, because we want that so badly, oftentimes we end up forgetting who we are. I remember, Brother Wayne, I used to try to play a little bit of basketball. I did. I tried to dunk it like 6-7 times, and it always hit the back of the rim and bong. You know, there's no thing. It's quite embarrassing. But we were at the gym the other day, and I was like, man, I think I can grab the rim. And so I jumped, and I was about like 6 feet, 6 inches short. I mean, I wasn't even, I wasn't even close. But I remember when I was growing up, and all of a sudden, I was trying to play basketball with the guys, and for some reason, they would all start picking and be like, yeah, I want him, and I want that one, and I want that one. And then I always, I don't know if it was my flavor, I don't know if it's because I was younger than some of those guys, but for some reason, they didn't pick this guy first round. Now, I would think, I was like, hey, I want that dude on my team. That didn't happen. They picked, him and Tommy and Jamal and, Susie. They picked all these other guys, but they ended up not picking me until all right, well, y'all got that dude, the little Hawaiian guy. That's y'all's guy. That was the last pick of the litter. And what happens in life is sometimes is that, we feel this need to feel desired and accepted, and yet we feel rejected. But that's not true of you today. The Lord himself says, that before the foundation or the creation of the world, that God says he actually chose you and created you, and he chose you before the very foundation of the world. And so when you begin to look at yourself in the mirror, no matter how many folks have rejected you, no matter how many folks have turned you away, no matter how many times you've said, their opinion matters to me, and all those things that happen in life, you ought to say to yourself, no, you know what? I am chosen by God Himself. And so the Bible says you are a chosen generation. Here's another thing that the Bible says, though. In verse 9, we see that we're not only chosen, but we are valuable. We are His own special people. We are His own special people. You've probably noticed this in life. Sometimes we have the value placed on us that someone else is willing to pay for our affection or our attention or our devotion to it. For example, how many of you have ever tried to sell a house? How much is your house worth? If you ever try to sell your house, how much is it worth? Well, you would say, well, my house about, $10 million, I gotta, whatever. Now, that may be what you think it's worth, but you know how much a house is worth? A house is only as much as it is worth as somebody is willing to pay for it. That's all it's worth. So you might say, well, I got 120, but if they willing to pay 70 and you can't get anything but 70, guess what? Then your house is only valuable as much as somebody is willing to pay for it. So you might look at your life and say, well, how much is my life value? I mean, how much am I worth? Am I really worth anything at all? How much value is there? Well, your value of your life is really as valuable as somebody is willing to pay for it. Some folks will get around you and say, you know what, man, you are too much trouble, too much drama for your mom. I just don't want to be around you. I can't handle your stuff. And they just figure out now, I don't want anything to do with you. A little bit too much to pay. Too much attention, you're starving for this, you're starving for that. Just too much work to be around you. How much would somebody be willing to pay for you? Friends, the reason why we have a cross in the middle of this church, the reason why you look at it every Sunday morning is because that shows just how valuable you are to the Lord. That is how much He was willing to pay for your life. He was willing to say, you know what, I'm willing to give all of my life for you, and I'm willing to die on a cross for your sins. Why? Because He says that is how valuable you are. You may come here today and say, I feel as worthless and as defeated and as rejected as anybody else. But your value is not dependent on anyone else. Your value is dependent on what God would be willing to pay for you. Jesus paid it all, and all to Him I owe. And sin had left a crimson stain, but He washed it white as snow. That is how much value you have to God Himself. And you ought to say to yourself, amen, thank you, Jesus, hallelujah. Because friends, when you realize that is what your value, that He would not only, out of all the billions, the 8 billion people on this planet, that He would still choose you. And out of all the things that He'd be willing to pay, not gold or silver or anything else, He'd actually be willing to pay with the precious blood of His Son just for you. Now I know one thing. Brandon knows this as well. Miss Debbie, y'all, Denise, you know this as well. I ain't giving my child up for nobody. Nobody. I love you, but if I got to choose between my little ones and you, the spiritual side would say, well, as pastor, I'm sure enough I'd die for y'all, but I ain't giving my kids for none of y'all. Right. And to think that God Himself would give His Son for those of us who turn away, and those of us who forget our identity, and for those of us who just say, I got my own thing going. I don't know who you are, I don't know who I am, I'm just so confused. But yet He would still say, I value you that much. We are part, as verse 9 says, of His own special people, that His own purchased possession, that God says, I purchase you with the blood of Christ. And so He says, you are chosen, you are valuable, but He also says that you are loved. Look, verse 10 says this, who were once not a people, but you are now the people of God. I am a child of the one true King. Apart from Christ, that word we are not just rings over your life. Apart from Christ, we are not forgiven. Apart from Christ, we are not in a relationship with the Lord. Apart from Christ, we have no hope, and we have no future. We have nothing else but confusion. Apart from Christ, we are not. But then God says, but you were once not a people, but now you are the people of God. Why? Because God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. So the reality is that the Lord says, you're chosen, you are valuable, and that you are loved. We look for love in all the wrong places. That song, is that a country song, brother? Looking for love and all right, exactly. Is that good? You like that? All right. But that's how it is, isn't it? We look for love in all the wrong places, but the reality is that we find our true love, the unconditional, sacrificial love that only comes from God Himself. So He says, you are loved. But another thing He says that you are forgiven. Verse 10 says, you who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Apart from Christ, we don't know what it's like to have the mercy and the forgiveness of God. But the Lord gives us forgiveness. He gives us His grace. He gives us His mercy. In Christ, we have obtained mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. There's nothing like the mercy. And we talked about that last week, so I don't want to preach it again. But there is nothing like the mercy and the forgiveness of God Himself. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. You know, that is just an amazing thing about the mercy. So He says, look, you are chosen, valuable, loved, forgiven. And then in verse 9, He even says that we are called. You may have noticed these strange phrases that He says about us. He says, look, you are a royal priesthood. You are a holy nation. His own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of Him who called you out of darkness and into His marvelous light. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? I'm not talking about here at church on this morning. I'm talking about why are you here on this planet? Why do you take up space? Is it just because, you know what, because I have a job, because I have a family, because I work, because I'm educated, because I do this? Why are you here? I mean, is your life just to live 80, 90, 100, 120 years, and then all of a sudden you die, and that's all that there is? What is your purpose and your meaning in life? The Lord says, look, let me tell you what, you are not only chosen by God and valuable to Him and loved by Him and forgiven of every single one of your sins, which just like ought to blow your ever-living mind, and He will forgive every single one of your sins. But then He says, look, you are actually called. He's called you out of the darkness and into His marvelous light. He has called you to proclaim the praises of Him who just changed your life. If you don't know what it's like when He changed you and got you out of darkness into His light, then you're really missing out on one of the greatest expressions of God's love to bring you out of your past and out of your mistakes and out of your shame and just bring you into His marvelous light. You won't be able to do anything else but help to tell somebody about what God has done. You can't do like Peter did and just say, I don't know him, you know, I don't know him, I don't know who I belong to, I'm just so confused. No, when you realize you're calling from God, and it doesn't matter if you're a teacher, it doesn't matter if you're working the mill, it doesn't matter if you know what you have your own business, all that doesn't matter. What matters is that God has a calling on your life, and He says, you know what, I've called you out of darkness into this light to proclaim those praises. And so this is who you are. When you look at yourself, you're not your mistakes, you're not your regret, you're not your shame, you're not all that stuff that people want to label you as and say, well, that's who you are, and this is who you are, you're worthless, you'll never amount to anything. That is not who you are. The Lord says you are chosen and valuable and loved and forgiven, and you are called. And the problem is, though, is that there's always someone who wants to steal your identity. If you've ever had that feeling, where you know somebody got your credit card information or your passwords or whatever, there's nothing quite as disturbing at times when you realize that, you know what, someone stole your identity. Well, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, they've got this website. It's called identitytheft.org or gov or something like that. And they give you some things that they say, look, if your identity is ever stolen, this is what you ought to do. And it's pretty simple, just 5 things. You know, we look at 5 things: chosen, valuable, loved, forgiven, and called. But look, the 5 things that they say to do is, look, when you realize your identity has been stolen, the first thing you need to do is you need to detect it. Make sense? You need to realize, okay, my identity has actually been stolen. The other one is that you need to alert those who can minimize the damage. And so, you know what, you alert your bank, you alert the authorities, you alert folks, you let folks know, hey, look, this is what has happened in my life. And the next one is that you close any compromised accounts. And so there may be some accounts that you know that you have, and you know people have kind of gotten in there, and so you know you go to the bank and you close those accounts. The next thing that they do is they say, take control of your identity. Whatever you can do, you need to take control of it. You need to say, no, this is who I am. You know, you get the documents, you get all those things together, take control of your identity. And then the next thing is that you need to stay alert for any future threats that come your way. Now, that's what the Federal Trade Commission says. This is what you ought to do if your identities ever get stolen. Well, can I tell you, that's pretty good advice as well. It would have been good advice for Peter's life. It would have been good advice for your life if you're ever struggling with, you know, at times that I'm not sure who I am, and I fall backwards, and I weep bitterly because I lived in shame and regret, because I'm not living up to who I really am. The first thing is that you ought to do is you ought to detect it. See, this morning, some of you need to realize, you know what, that your identity has been stolen. You say, well, I've never really had that happen to me. You know how your identity gets stolen sometimes? Because sometimes people's opinion of who you are It begins to steal your identity. It begins to say, you know what, man, so-and-so thinks that I'm worthless, or so-and-so doesn't want to be around me, or so-and-so just feels that, you know what, that my life doesn't matter. And so some of you have allowed your identity to be stolen by someone else's opinion. Or some of you are living in your past mistake. Boy, you know what, that divorce, it stole my identity. That shame, it stole my identity. When I was a child and they did this to me, that stole my identity. That mark on my life, that mistake, whatever it is. And so some of you have allowed others to steal your identity, to steal who you really are. And instead of being valuable and loved and chosen and called, you begin to say, no, I'm this, based on their opinion. So you need to, first of all, detect any times that you realize your identity has been stolen. The next thing is this, though. Alert anyone who can minimize the damage. You say, well, how does that work? You take it to Jesus. You take it to Jesus and say, you know, Jesus, I just feel like I'm not sure who I am. And I just feel as though, you know what, I'm just wandering. I just have so much identity crisis going on. I don't know how to live for you, how to love you, how to do those things. And so you gotta take it to Jesus. You call upon a greater authority, and you make it a matter of prayer. You tell other friends around you, look, would you hold me accountable because I'm really struggling in this area? Another thing is, the third one is to close any compromised accounts. For some of you, know what that looks like? It looks like this. It looks like you saying, you know what? I'm going to close off this relationship with this person who's dragging me backwards. I'm going to close off these thoughts and these negative thoughts that keep just hindering me from moving forward with the Lord. I'm going to close off any of these things that are depleting me, that are taking away from who the Lord has really called me to be. And so you begin to cut off. You begin to close off. You begin to say, no, that I can't allow that in my life anymore. That's not going to happen in my life anymore. The fourth one is this. It says you take control of your identity. You're the one who, you can't control other folks, but you can control the things that come into your life. And so when you begin to just hold on to some of those negative things that are going on in your life, when you begin to allow others to identify who you really are, you need to take control of that and say, you know what, I'm going to take every thought captive. I'm not going to listen to what they say anymore. I'm not going to live my life. I'll give you an example of this. Recently, a dear friend of mine was going through an identity crisis. Because what all he had been hearing was, you know what? You're worthless. You know what? Your future's over with. You know what? It's done for in your life. There's no way past this mistake. There's no way to move forward from what's going on in your life. It's just over with. And I'm trying to look at the little kids that are here because I don't want to say this, but parents, just cover your little ones' ears. This was my advice to them, and I told the guys in our Bible study the other day this as well. You need to deal with those things when folks begin to try to steal your identity. Then it's spiritual because Satan comes from hell, and so you're really telling him, you know, just get back to where you came from. Is that when those things begin to just affect you, begin to hurt your heart, when those things begin to turn you away from, you know what, you're chosen and valuable and made by God and you're called by Him, then my advice to him was to say these two words, is to simply say, hell no. Satan, you are no longer going to control my life with that. You are no longer going to bring up every past thing. No. You, Satan, can go back to where you came from because I'm not dealing with that. I'm not listening to that. I know that I'm chosen and valuable and called. I am forgiven. And God has given me His great love that lasts forever. And so I don't have to continue to live in shame and regret and all these opinions of, hello, my name is, all these things. No, I'm going to live according to what the Lord says. And so I'm going to take control of my own identity. I'm going to focus on the Lord. I'm going to focus on what He says about me. I'm going to chew on that. I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to write it down so I can just begin to live according to what He says. And that's why the fifth thing says you got to stay alert. Because Satan is not wanting you to move forward in your life. He wants to get you stuck on all these opinions of all these things that he says, this is who you are. This is what you like. You'll never be any better than all those things that everyone has said about you. But you just say to yourself, no, I know by faith, this is what God says. I am chosen and valuable and I am forgiven and that He's given me His mercy. That is who I really am. I am not what all these other folks say about me. It's just a way of saying, no, that is not who I am. So Peter, he forgot who he was. He forgot who he belonged to. He forgot what the Lord said. August 31st, 2014, Richmond Hill, Georgia. Benjamin Kyle had no idea who he was. FBI, DNA, TV shows, everyone was trying to figure out who this guy was. And then on September 16th of last year, 2016, they finally figured out through DNA and through everything else that was going on, they were able to identify some of his DNA markers, and then finally they were able to identify some of his cousins because a lot of folks heard about his story, so they began to bring samples and send in samples, and then all of a sudden they figured out that the guy they called Benjamin Kyle was actually not Benjamin Kyle. His name was William Burgess Powell. He figured that out about 12 years later. He figured out who he really was. But for 12 years, 11 years, a little bit more than 11 years, he just wandered around having no clue who his identity was. And today is August the 6th, 2017. You're not in Georgia, you are in Louisiana. You've not been beaten, though life has beaten some of you down. You're not covered in red ants, but some of you are covered in the shame and regret of your past. And like Peter, like Benjamin, some of you have forgotten who you are. Like on The Lion King, when Mufasa says to him, remember who you are. Some of you have forgotten exactly who you are. By the authority of God's word, you are chosen. You are valuable. You are loved. You are forgiven, and you are called. Called. You know, that's only true for those of us who are in Christ Jesus today. As Brother Whalen makes his way to the front, this idea that you know that you're loved and you're forgiven and that He has called you, that's true for those who are believers in Christ. And so you know what, today, for some of you who are so like Peter was, who are going out weeping bitterly, who are making mistakes, who are not aware of who you are, the Lord even today is calling out to you. And He's saying, you know what, my child? I created you. I chose you before the foundation of the world. Isn't it time to give your life to me? You've wandered and you've had all these other voices of regret and defeat and loser, mistake, and all that stuff. But can I tell you today, the most important thing that you could ever say about yourself is that I'm a child of the one true King. I'm a child of the one true King. Are you His child today? The Bible says, yet to all who received Him, to those who believed in His name, He gave the right to become children of God. And today you can do that. He is calling. He's calling out your name. Who am I? That the Lord of all the earth would just begin to call upon me. Do you hear His voice? Is He calling out to you? In all your confusion, and all your doubt, and all the stuff that you have no idea who you are, would you listen to His voice today? Because He's calling you to come to Him, to a relationship with Christ. Would you bow your head for just a moment? Amen.
Friends, thank you for joining us today at Westside Emmanuel Baptist Church, the church that loves God and loves people. We hope you'll be able to join us this coming Sunday at 10:30 a.m. or 6 o'clock in the evening time. Wednesdays at 6 o'clock for our prayer service, and we also have youth and children's activities as well. We look forward to seeing you. Hope to meet you in person here in Bogalusa with Bogalusa on our heart. We hope to see you soon.